Grand Rising. I'm ringing on the first day of March, which happens to be, I think, Friday there was, I don't know, something's cracked off over the weekend anyway, which is essentially attacks on by, I'm going to do it the right way. The news is telling you it's the US and Israel, and actually it's Israel kicked it off, and then America joined. Not America, the US joined. Okay, so what the reason for this post, and I've still got 3 or 4. I don't know how many I've got now, but I've been recording that many, but I haven't posted the unhinged psychotherapy. So in this edition then of why something needs to be done wrong and stupid, True Brit News arc. Well, this is calling it a war. You know, there are some people talking it up, some people saying it's right, some people saying it's wrong, blah 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 blah. I see it not as a distraction, and I'm not seeing it as a piece of theatre, although they do call it a theatre of war. But there are some real-time, real-life consequences for this piece of theatre, and I kind of get, okay, just the one. So I'm just, there's a magpie, right, and there's just one, and he's squawking and shouting at somebody. All right, okay, there's 2, that's good. Okay, we were maybe having a bit of a chat, clearly. Anyway, so just a quick post really, because this one, because things have moved on a pace. So I forgot the point I was going to make. All right, okay, so it's distraction. Why do I say it's a distraction? Or not quite a distraction, but there are other things going on. The last time, I can't remember which war it was. It might have been the one that Tony Blair was involved in that part of the world, actually. I'm sure it was. But when years later we found out it was a good day. When that happened, it was a good day to bury bad news. And as part of that bad news at that time was stuff to do with the economy. And I think something else had gone on. There was quite a few things that years later we find out that at the same time as a war kicking off or something dramatic happening, they used the opportunity to bury, to bury bad news, put it out of sight. A bit like 9/11 was an opportunity. I think it might have been 9/11. They used that to bury bad news all over the shop, all over the world. But it also signifies, some of that bad news is financial. Some of that bad news is political. Some of that the news that's trying to be buried, that is. So what am I trying to say? I suppose I'm reporting on some of it's hearsay. I've got to be honest, because I've searched. But I understand that there was a senior politician that had resigned over the weekend in the UK, but I might be wrong about, and I think that's why I'm not sure. I might be struggling because I've been looking for the UK, and it might be somewhere else. But there are, I don't know, somebody from Goldman Sachs or one of the major banks. They've resigned. There's people committing suicide all over the shop. People being arrested all over the shop. That is not quite hitting the news. There's a rumour that Benji from Israel is no longer in Israel. He's on his way, or he's in Germany at the moment. So, but again, speculation and rumour. And I suppose what I'm saying in this post very quickly is that there's always something else going on when these major events, whether they be real or otherwise, there's always something else going on alongside it. Part of the road again. Yeah, there's and there's always more than one. There's a cause for it. There's a cause for the major events. They just don't happen in isolation. And I'm only going to say, for me, might sound a bit of a conspiracy, and I don't care, because all the conspiracy theories have proved to be, I've unearthed the conspiracy. There is a conspiracy behind them all. So even with the weather, I don't think it's quite clear that there's something been going on with the weather. It's not natural, whatever's going on. It's been interfered with. And it's quite logical in some respects. If you're shoving fluoride in the water as an example, and all sorts of crap, then when that shit evaporates, it doesn't necessarily evaporate off all this fluoride or whatever it is that they're putting in the water, mercury and whatnot. Shouldn't park here, mate. Look, you're making it difficult for me to pass. So, I'm just saying for the future. Okay, well, I might have to call the council, because every time I come round here, it's like, it might be difficult. Yeah. All right, okay. I know I'm going to get the yeah. People don't care at the minute, but they're going to be caring soon. One of the what this event, the attacks by Israel and the US, what's the word? Allegedly, and these operations that are taking place in the Middle East, that what's I'm saying? For me, they're connected to, as I say, the stuff that's going on financially. Stock market's not in a good place today, but the stocks of oil stocks and weapons have gone up, as they tend to do. This is how the West makes its money. This is how democracy works. It relies on war. And not just kinetic wars and the armaments that go with them, and the technology, but also we have experienced medical warfare. The weaponization of drugs. That war's been going on for far longer. But with no less intensity than a kinetic war. It's been I suppose I won't say it's is intense, but COVID was intense. And you see, I suppose that's the one thing that I do want to mention, is that that's right, this war is revealing. Because the other thing that's a distraction away from the Epstein files. All the people that are involved in this kinetic war, the Israel thing and Iran and all the leaders, all the corporations, they've all got links and connections. Guess who to? Or they appear in what? The Epstein files. The banks, the CEOs of various companies, Rolls-Royce or whatever it might be. I'm not saying anybody from Rolls-Royce, by the way, but that type of company, Raytheon, all the major owners of media outlets, people they've never heard of before, but they own shit. You know what I mean? They influence shit. Billionaires, whatever it is, and anyway, so it's revealing who they are, and the controlling influence on making things like wars and pandemics and displacement of people, trafficking of children, of human beings around the globe under the guise of immigration and all the rest of it, who they are. So till the next time, may your ERP and your spirituality remain strong. I'm gone.